Okay, welcome back. So I will show you what we're looking at here. I've been working on a 3D, obviously 3D, space lady, if you will. And a lot of the materials are made in Arnold. Here, I'll do a quick render. Hopefully it doesn't crash anything because my computer is getting a little bit older. It's amazing I can still do what it's doing. But yeah, so like say, I know it's a bit blurry, it's still rendering, but this is an Arnold shader, but this is from Substance. So yeah, there's lots of things you can do in Substance that's faster and easier than using, you know, Maya and Arnold to make textures. For me, what my process is right now anyway, I'm using ZBrush to model, and then I bring it into Maya for rendering in Arnold, and I texture it in Substance. And today's tutorial is to show you how you can assign vertex colors to your model. And this way, when you bring your model into Substance, you can tell it, you know, hey, I just want one texture. So all I want is one image file, let's put it that way. I want one image file for this entire piece here, even though the blue, red, and green areas are going to be different materials. Different imaged materials, let's say. It's really going to be one material in Maya anyways, and that is why I also use vertex color, because you don't want three different materials. So I think that was confusing. I'm not sure how to say it simply to you, but you're going to go through trial and error and you'll understand exactly what I mean. So for example, I don't want three Lambert materials, I just want one. And I don't want Lambert at all. So the reason I chose Lambert is because one of the limitations right now is that if I change this to an Arnold standard surface, you won't be able to see the vertex color anymore in the viewport, which is a limitation because how would I assign vertex color? I would think that none of these had vertex color, but it does. So when you're assigning the vertex color, you can keep it as a Lambert, and you can leave it as a Lambert too. You can export it out, bring it back in. The texture file will be correct. You can assign then your Arnold material. You can do it like that. Or you could just change it in here when you were done and then bounce it out that way. But I'll show you. So let's do this right now. So let's isolate the material, okay? And I will, some of these are separate, so they're not like merged in terms of actual, because I separated them because it's easier to assign a vertex color. So for example, let's take this and make it a different color. So go to Mesh Display, apply color, and then you can go, let's say we want it to be orange. I'm replacing the color right now. Okay. So now, if I left it like that, this orange would be could be a different material if I wanted to have the freedom to be able to select this separately than these ones. Which I don't actually. I want this one to be green, so I'm undoing that. Just gonna see, I wanted to put I am gonna put bolts here, but I don't think I'm gonna, I think I'll make them separate. So yeah, so everything's perfect. So I kept these separate so I could easily apply the material color, the vertex color, if you will. But you can actually then select them all and combine them as one. And then, as I mentioned before, if you wanted to take this Lambert and make it an AI standard surface, you could, right? And then I'll just name it Material Attributes, call this Pipes. Now I'm going to export this, export the selection, and it's going to be exported as a FBX export. And then do that. You can save over it. Okay, so I'll go, this is what we're going to create, okay? But I'll do this over again because I just did this tutorial and realized that the audio wasn't recording. So let's start over. Select your model. And I'm in the right place. Pipes side, the FBX, open. Maybe I'll make it nicer. I'll make it bigger, 2024, 2048. DirectX, no. So if you're using Maya, it's OpenGL. And that's it. So you select your model here. I just made a new project. Go OK. Goodbye, beautiful. Gonna make you again. All right. So once you've brought in your FBX model from Maya, you're going to get this layer. You don't need it. I'm going to delete it because I don't want it. And I'm going to texture set settings, and this is where you bake your mesh maps. Go to bake mesh maps. What we're going to do is we want to tell it to give us those vector colors as an ID so that we can control where we put textures. ID is selected, go to material color, select vertex color, bake your mesh maps. Super quick. I love this program. It's just, I mean, it is so fast. It almost never freezes as well, considering all the data that you bring into it. I have had very few crashes, which is wonderful. So it's done, return to painting mode. Now, material, you can select ID and you'll see that that is exactly what happened. So here is our UVs. And just to quickly let you know as well, when you do have a model, you do need it to have UVs. Okay, so if you're bringing any model from Maya into Substance Painter, if it doesn't have a UV, you won't be able to assign the texture in the right spot. It'll still work. Sometimes it doesn't. It'll give you an error. But the texture at the end will be ugly. It won't work. So here and here you can see same UV shape. And now let's for ease go back to materials. Material is the texture. I've already selected steel. I'm going here now to layers, and let's say what I had done was I made this part red. So I'm just dropping that on. Go to your material, right click, add mask with color selection. This is when you go here to pick color, and you're going to select where you want it to be red. So it's actually red, which is easy to tell us. You know it worked because the red is there. And if you want to get rid of it, just delete it. Okay, go. You're still in color, pick it again. So you can get rid of them anytime here. You can also layer them. I can pick more if I want to. I'm going to now take, I think it was black, yeah. You can just dump it anywhere too, remember. So yeah, if I was to drop it under here, it's sort of like Photoshop. Like I don't even need to assign a map because I'm layering them now, but right click, add color selection, pick the color. So let's say I'm going to make this side black, right? So if I wanted to make inside a different texture, I could, but I actually like them being the same. So in that case, I could also add another one. So pick color, then pick the center. All right. So it's pretty easy. And that's our final one. And then you just export that out. So go File, Export Textures. I'm just going to use Arnold Standard, AI Standard. You'll get your list of exports. The only one I don't use is obviously emissive. I haven't tried that yet because I haven't had a reason to use that. But the other thing I'll go to here is if you're using your height, which I don't really need, but you can change that to EXR. Because I don't think there's any real serious height information there, but yeah, change it to EXR, export, it's all exporting. Now let's go back to Maya. materials. This is a long process, selecting, so I think I'll put a pause on this video. Okay, so we're back. So I didn't want you to, this tutorial is not really about assigning the textures. It's quite easy to do, and I can show you in another tutorial if that's really an interest to people. Just put a comment in, show us that, and I will. But it's slow, and I really just wanted to show you how to do the vertex color. Thank you for watching, and again, stay tuned for more tutorials on Adobe Substance Painter, probably with Maya and Arnold.